You don't just have to think that life is losing weight in the sun, as there is always less of it left. But it should also be considered that with a longer life, it is always uncertain if our minds are equal. It retains its power in our duties, and the science that it is, it includes the idea of human and divine things. Because if it is, he's starting to become a clown. That's why a breathing, the mention, a talent, imaginations, and have desires, it doesn't stop. But on talent, to manage himself, all parts of his duty, see, your imaginations are correctly judged by, and you will also gain insights you can, if you have to end his life now and understand other similar things, which are good sense in any case they wish, this talent goes out first. So you have to hurry, no only because a death approaches every hour, but also because many times our insight into our actions is, and our understanding is our death before. 28. 2. It is also worth noting that also for objects that are they are related to nature's crops, they have some pleasantness and attractive power. So when bread is baked, some parts are torn open. These, if they also divorce, they attack the will of the oven, even tenderers, and stimulate the appetite in some strange way. Totally and on the argument, figs also crack, and are well ripe in the case of olive fruit. Even the approximation of the rotation effect is something nice it shows. Leaning ears, angry with the lioness Serenia, a boar foam flowing from the tusk, and several other objects, on its own considering they are far from all beauty, but connected with the works of nature, they serve as a certain jewel for, and as spectators they snatch. However, if someone has a tendency, it is also the universe, he would combine a deep insight into his events. He would hardly find of reasons changes according to the laws of consequences, which is something I wouldn't offer, kindness. Then you wouldn't look at it with less pleasure true fangs of animals, as if it is a painter or sculptor imitating shows. His wrought eyes almost won't hold a soul, and to ignore the maturity and beauty of an aging woman, like that, if Jews' pleasures. There are many other objects that are not for everyone dear, 29, but alone, who has an open mind to nature and its works. 3. Hippocrates cured many diseases, but still he got sick himself and died. Chaldeans advanced the death of many it was prophesied, but the day of a fate also came upon them. Alexander, Pompey, and Cassius Caesar landed many cities as far as, and many thousands of knights and pawns were defeated in battle. But finally, they lost their lives. Heraclitus made many natural investigations above the burning of the world. He was surprised by dropsy and died in it ill. Democritus was digested by worms, so Socrates was also digested by them. What do you want with all this? You boarded a ship, rode, a rev, you understand, so get out. But if to another life, it's all complete with God's, full there too. Well, if into insensitivity, trouble, and you will rise above joy, and you will no longer serve this body. What is more dishonest, the more noble the serving part, because reason a deity, that dust and ashes. 4. Don't spend the rest of your life thinking about others, if only they do not have some influence on the common good of Because, however, it is different. You miss your job while you think about what and why does this or that act. Say what? What is your desire and intention? And similarly, from the viscera of your own soul, -30 to draw. So you have to avoid it. Everything useless is and unnecessary in your line of thoughts. Everything, and before that, all candor and immorality. and you get used to it yourself, just to occupy yourself with such imaginations that you are on it to the question, what do you think now? You can answer this immediately or that, from which it should immediately become clear that they are all their thoughts for a simple, good-willed social being they fit, who considers every thought unworthy of him, which for lust and usually for physical pleasure, jealousy, envy, or suspiciously, he aims for, and anything else that is on it confession that it was in your mind. It would shame you. Indeed, it ill a man who doesn't put it off any longer, like a noblest to be one, priest and servant of the gods. Say, dwelling in him he dedicates himself to genius, which devotes him from all immorality he cleans it. It could be hurt against all pain, everything beyond harm, unstimulable to any sin. He makes him undeterred in the direction of all evil. He is a everything, having initiated him as a fighter in the noblest of struggles. That nothing don't be convinced by passion, dip it in the face of truth. Hot, he is excited by love for what has become part of his class due to fate has trains him into a being that is rarely and only 31. Big he thinks in need, and for the co,